I want to share a really beautiful story with you today. It's a timeless one from the Bhagavata Puran. It sounds simple on the surface. It's just about a fruit seller and a little boy. But the exchange they have, well, it teaches us a profound lesson about what devotion is really all about.
So let me ask you this. Can a few grains of rice be worth a fortune? It sounds like a trick question, right? But the answer is actually at the very core of the story we're about to get into. It really makes you rethink our whole idea of value and what a truly meaningful offering looks like.
All right, so our story starts in the simple, dusty lanes of a village called Gokul. And like so many important stories, this one begins with a very ordinary person just doing their everyday work.
Just try to picture that for a second. You can almost hear her voice carrying through the quiet morning air. It's a simple, honest sound, you know? Not some grand prayer in a temple or a loud ceremony, just the humble call of someone trying to make a living.
And right there, that's the first huge takeaway from this story. That simple, everyday call reached a divine ear. It tells us that even the smallest, most unassuming voice is heard. No call, no matter how humble you think it is, ever goes unnoticed.
So Krishna hears her call, and he decides he wants some fruit. And what he does next is it's pure, innocent childhood logic in action. It's wonderful.
You see, back then, it was all about barter, a direct exchange of goods. So Krishna, wanting to be part of the world, just runs to do what everybody else does. He's not trying to do anything special. He just wants to make a fair trade like any other person in the village.
Oh, this image is so important. His hands are tiny, and his effort is, well, it's kind of clumsy, it's imperfect. He's losing most of what he actually intends to give. And that detail is everything. It's teaching us that what matters isn't the perfection or the amount of our offering, but the pure intention behind it. So with his messy, imperfect little handful of grains, Krishna finally reaches the fruit seller. And what's about to happen is not a transaction, it's a total transformation. He offers up what little he has left. I mean, from a business perspective, this is a terrible deal for the fruit seller. It's basically nothing. But she isn't looking at this like a business deal at all. She's not even seeing the grains. She's just completely enchanted by the love and the innocence in this little child's smile. So she doesn't trade. She just gives. She acts from this place of pure, selfless affection and just fills his little hands until they're overflowing with fruit.
And that just nails the heart of the lesson, doesn't it? A transaction, a trade, has limits. But an exchange that's based on love, it's absolutely boundless. The joy that fruit seller felt in that one moment was its own reward, worth so much more than any payment.
But wait, the story doesn't end there. Not even close. After this beautiful, heartfelt exchange, something truly miraculous is about to be revealed. It shows us exactly how an act of pure devotion is answered.
So, Krishna runs off, and the fruit seller is probably just standing there, still feeling the warmth of that amazing encounter. She glances down into her basket, maybe to see what she has left to sell for the day.
And what she sees is completely impossible. Her simple basket is no longer filled with fruit. It's overflowing with glittering, priceless gems and gold. Her small act of selfless love was returned to her, multiplied beyond anything she could have ever imagined.
So what a beautiful story, right? But it is so much more than just a magical fairy tale. It's a parable, and it's designed to teach us a very deep spiritual lesson. So let's kind of unpack what it all really means.
A parable basically uses simple, everyday things that we can all relate to. You know, a fruit seller, a child, some grains, to explain these really big, complex spiritual truths. Every single part of this story is symbolic.
This slide really helps break it down. You've got the fruit seller. She represents simple, pure devotion. She's not a famous scholar or a wealthy donor. She just gives from the heart. And on the other side, you have Krishna, who represents divine grace, accepting even our smallest, messiest offerings and rewarding the purity of our hearts. And the symbolism of the objects themselves is just as powerful. Think about it. Those falling grains, that's us. That's our imperfect efforts, which are often clumsy and incomplete. The sweet fruits are the blessings we receive from that connection. And the jewels, that's the real treasure, the spiritual wealth that just floods our lives when we give with love. Okay, so after looking at the characters, the symbols, the miracle, if you boil it all down, what's the one single message we are supposed to take away from this beautiful parable?
Well, what's really amazing is that the story makes it super clear what is not required. You don't need these huge, elaborate ceremonies, you don't need to give away tons of money, and you don't need to be some great scholar with a mind full of knowledge.
That's it. That is the ultimate lesson. That is the fortune worth more than all the jewels in the world. It was the simple, pure and loving heart of that fruit seller that turned a few dropped grains of rice into a divine treasure. And that kind of leaves us with a question to reflect on, doesn't it? In our own lives, with our own imperfect efforts and our own small handfuls of grain, what can we offer from a place of pure, simple love, with absolutely no expectation of getting something back? What is the truest offering you can give today?